Leafs prospect Fraser Minten has seemed to be a diamond in the rough for the Toronto Maple Leafs. This prospect camp, he has looked absolutely fantastic. We'll be going over what this means for the Leafs going into this season and going in with their future. But before we do, we noticed that 97% of you guys are not subscribed to the channel. So if you want a spot to get all the news about your favorite team and around the league, you're in the right spot. Make sure to stay a while, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss any of the major news going on around the NHL. But like I said, Fraser Minten with the Maple Leafs is looking very good in prospect camp. This is from his coach on the team, what his mentality was on the bench and how he's been playing. I thought Minten was outstanding, not only on the ice, but I thought he was great on the bench, positive, and made sure guys were engaged in part of it. I was really impressed by the leadership skills that he has. That was Gruden on the Leafs prospect, which is Fraser Minten, and you can read the rest of the stuff there if you would like, just pause the video. But what do you guys think about Fraser Minten going under the Maple Leafs? Obviously, that this style of player with positivity and leadership on the bench is very good for a young guy to have. So what do you think about Fraser Minten potentially making the Maple Leafs roster this upcoming season and instead of going back to Kamloops, or at least at some point? And what do you think this means for the Maple Leafs in their progress towards the Stanley Cup?
I don't think he's going to make the team this year. And I know he's had a really, really good rookie camp, and I know he's absolutely lighting it up there the past couple days. But I'm looking at this from a future perspective. You know, he's probably going to have an absolutely insane year in Kamloops. He said, I think he's going to wear the C, I think, this year, which, you know, if that doesn't motivate you, what else, what does, you know? He's probably going to make Team Canada for the World Junior team. If I'm the Leafs, you know, I let him stay down in the WHL, let him develop as much as he can, you know, and I think John Tavares has another, 2-3 years left on his deal?
Yeah, something like that.
I think maybe he could become the guy to play behind Matthews. I think he's got the talent, you know, and I think he's got the capability. I mean, he's in Kamloops. Kamloops is a pretty big WHL arena, and they've got a pretty big fan base. So I'm all for this. I love this guy.
Yeah, he's definitely a great leader, and I mean, if the Maple Leafs need nothing else, it's that. Like they need that. Because they've got all the offensive talent in the world. Defense obviously could be a little bit better, but I mean, he brings a pretty complete game as well. So I would definitely like to see him on the Maple Leafs at some point in the next, I don't know, at least try him out. They're going to try him in the preseason, see how it works there. Yeah. And you'll see more of an idea then. I agree with you. I don't think he makes the team right out of camp. He probably goes back down and plays in Kamloops this year. But you never know, because they're gonna need some depth down there, because right now, like, the top six is great, the third line's okay, but Ryan Reeves is not gonna play 82 games. Gambrell is not gonna play 82 games. Lafferty, he might, but he might not play 82 games. So I think you're gonna need to see a little bit more of a rotation going down there with all those guys. Maybe put Reeves in for games you need a little bit more physicality. Maybe a guy like Fraser Minten could play in a game where you need more defensive reliability, because, you know, Reeves has pretty much nothing to his game offensively or defensively. He's just there to beat people up. So, I mean, you know, you're going to need players like that. I think he's a great player that would fit in the Toronto Maple Leafs bottom six right now, maybe in the top six in the future, but I don't know if it's right away.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. He is very good defensively as well. It's just something that you don't hear about much of his game, but something he's still very talented at his defense. So that would be a much-needed help at the center position for the Toronto Maple Leafs in the future. And Noah, you're right. He will wear the C, or has been wearing the C so far for the Kamloops Blazers. Well, been on the first line, played in all situations, finished on the first with one primary assist on the power play, 5 shots on net, and won 15 of 21 faceoffs, which the Leafs really need, along with David Kampf, you know. So, you know, he's a very well-rounded center, something the Leafs need. But I think the main thing about this for the Leafs is the leadership. You know, the Leafs are a team that they do have a lot of leadership, but that is, they're in a situation where when they do bad, the whole, their fan base and everything, you know, everybody just feels like they're putting pressure on them. And that's not always the case, but leadership, be able to keep the guys on the bench and in the dressing room up, you know, keep their heads up and everything on maybe a bad play or whatever. That's something you need. Whether it's from John Tavares, the captain, or whether it's from Fraser Minten, the rookie who hasn't even played a game yet. That's something the Leafs always need. Well, any team, not just the Leafs, but Fraser Minten will be a very good player. You can see his stats here. He doesn't have too much to be able to show for offense-wise, but yeah, it just shows his, you know, basically point per game for all of his years, and willing to play in the playoffs. You can see 2021, 2022, 16 points in 17 games. But as well, we have a screenshot here that's saying just what we expect from Fraser Minten in this coming season. It says Minten is poised for a big season, looking to surpass 31 goals and 67 points in the 2022-2023 season with the Kamloops Blazers. He has an opportunity to earn more minutes, continue to be a leader for the team heading into the 23-24 season. His ability to constantly be involved in the play, be relentless and on the attack, and the tenacity and pressure his opponents is what makes him a special talent. In addition, he has a powerful release and a great accuracy from far out, showing that he can do a lot of damage offensively, which is absolutely what the Leafs need. So, like, I like what you said about him probably not making it, but he is under contract. So if the Leafs want to, like, he has a fantastic camp and they want to put him on the Maple Leafs main roster, they could. Likely not going to happen, but being able to do that at any point is something that the Leafs will be certainly happy about.
Another thing I do kind of want to touch on, I've seen a couple of videos like on Twitter, just scrolling, you know, what we usually do, and him and Matthew Nyes have looked amazing together. And if that's not a good sign for the Leafs, you know, Matthew Nyes came in the playoffs, and I thought he was one of the best players on the Leafs in the playoffs, which is hard for a 19-year-old to do. So if you have a guy like Fraser Minten, who is also 19 as well, I'm not sure how old Matthew Nyes is, but Fraser Minten is 19, and if you could have those two guys develop and play, that's really scary. Like, you know, we know the whole Nylander situation, you know, maybe those guys come in and they don't have to worry about paying Nylander, and those guys are their top six, you know, and I think there's a lot of question marks, but I love what Fraser Minten brings. Definitely.
I want to touch on the leadership again, because if that's important anywhere, it is important everywhere, but especially on a team like Toronto and a team like anywhere in like the original six, you have like the big markets, and like Toronto and Montreal more than anybody, the fans will crush you if you get down early in a game or you're playing bad. The fans will eat you alive. They will not leave anything left of your corpse. They will. That's plain and simple like that, right? With the Leafs, it's even worse than Montreal. I gotta say, it's even worse. So when you're playing bad, you need a player that's going to be willing to drown out the noise, who's going to, like, sometimes you need to feed off the crowd. Sometimes you can feed off the crowd when you get a crowd like that. But when you're doing bad, when you're playing horrible, you need to drown out that. You need to not listen to what's going on, what's being said online, anything like that. You need a guy who's going to speak up in the locker room, and you need a few guys like that. You can't just have one guy saying everything and just everyone listen to one guy. You need to have everybody on the same page, and he's going to be a guy that's going to bring that type of player to the locker room. So it's something that the Leafs will always need, like, no matter where they are. So I think he will definitely bring that in the future. Like we said, I don't know about right now, but that type of player is valuable to have in the system.
Yeah, as well as, like you said, Noah, with the Nylander situation, all the monetary, like the salary contracts and everything, that's a big thing. He's signed on his ELC, which, if someone, you know, maybe they're looking to get rid of someone, they can't re-sign someone due to cap, bring him in. That's all you need to do, is under $1 million in salary, which the Leafs need every penny they can get right now, no matter what they're doing, whether that's at the trade deadline or on the off-season. It's something they need as well. You know, like the leadership, like you said, Nick, that's absolutely correct about, they're like vultures, the fans from Montreal and Toronto. They'll eat you alive. If you do make one mistake, they'll rip you to shreds. But like someone like that with leadership, maybe someone else on the team makes a mistake, you can hear the fans booing them. Someone like that, be able to lift your head up, you know, go ahead. This is the game. It'll happen. We need to get back on our high horse and start going again. That's a player that especially the Leafs need, you know, like you said, or any original six team. So I think it's a very good thing for the Leafs to have a guy like him, and something that Leafs fans should very much keep an eye on. Fraser Minten, he's going to be a very good player. Watch him throughout this season in Kamloops or wherever he ends up throughout the season. I think that everybody should keep an eye on him because he's something special that the Leafs have that not a lot of people are talking about. But that's all we got for this video. Let us know in the comments below what you think Fraser Minten will, what he'll mean for the Maple Leafs, and do you think he'll come up at any point soon? We want to hear it. Love reading your comments. But that's all I got for this video. Hope you liked it. If you did, make sure to like the video and also subscribe, like I said at the beginning of the video, so you don't miss out on any news from around the NHL. But that's all. Hope you have a great day. See you later. Thank you for watching.